Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. Your source for Ford news, update, and information, including your Bronco and Bronco information on a Wednesday, because we started our Built Wild Wednesday video series in 2025, and we're going to do a recap and kind of talk about some of the different topics and things that we covered and talked about this last year. We had 44 videos, including this one, this last year out of 52 weeks. So I think that's a pretty good job there, and we covered a lot of different topics. But in reviewing this, oh, by the way, if you want to stay tuned on these, because we're going to do this again for 2026 calendar year as well, make sure you're subscribed with that bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of our videos. And so what we're doing here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we covered. And one of the things I noticed is we started off the year last year. January 1st was our first video, and we talked about Bronco off-roadeo. Is it the best experience on dirt? We talked about Bronco off-roadeo, and that is something that you can experience if you purchase a Bronco, that you get a complimentary pass. You do have to put a deposit down for a Bronco off-roadeo experience, a full day experience to learn all the terminologies, technologies, the buttons, all the different things that you have on your Bronco, and some things to think about if you want to take that Bronco off-road. And then also we covered we covered that again later. We did a half-day experience because I won a half day at one of the Bronco events, and we gave it away on a live stream. And Ford let us go and record that experience. So it was a half-day experience. And what do you get during a half-day experience? What's it like? And so we got a chance to follow one of our viewers and followers of the channel and covering that at the Texas off-roadeo event as well. And my wife got a chance to go, so she learned a lot as well too. And then also we covered later in the year, Ford opened up their Bring Your Own Bronco, BYOB, Bring Your Own Bronco events with two different offerings, a advanced recovery offering and a next level experience. So that's something else that they're providing, and you can load up with like 4 people in your Bronco and go and do this and learn a little more about your Bronco or go to the next level on your off-roading. And then our media team decided we wanted to experience a full day experience so we can kind of tell people what it's about. And we did that as well in December. And we covered the Nevada location and had a little bit of fun there as well. So, and if you didn't know, we are one of the few dealers that will pay for your travel expenses to get you there. So Ford pays for your pass to get you in, but we pay for you to get there. And when you purchase a Bronco or Bronco Sport from us. So that's something that we provided in 2025 and will continue to do as an offer for 2026 as well. So not only do I think we have some of the best prices for Broncos and Bronco Sports in the country, but also we're providing your way to the Bronco off-roadeo experience as well. So, all right, some other videos that we covered in January. We talked about the new Black Diamond package for both the Bronco and Bronco Sport, because Bronco Sport did get that new package for 25 model years. So we covered that in a video. We also did a hands-on look at the 2025 Bronco Sport Black Appearance package as well, and let you know what that looks like in person when we start arriving at the dealership. Also in January, we covered which hard top to choose on your Bronco. And also in that same video, we talked Bronco Sport because there are some people that like the look of the new 25, the front bumper and front fascia, and they wanted to switch out for theirs. And I just kind of wanted to remind people that, hey, FYI, this may not be an easy swap as you might think. And so I let people know what all is going on there, which is kind of what this video series is about, is educating you on different things for your Bronco and Bronco Sport. And we finished off January by looking inside the Wayne Smeckel the Strop Bronco collection that he has in Colorado. So they invited us up along with the Mile High Bronco Club. I'm part of the Mile High Bronco Club as well as some other clubs. Thank you guys for letting me join your clubs. And we got a chance to tour that and got to meet Wayne and have become really good friends in the last year. And he's just a great guy and loves showing off his collection. And probably the biggest collection of Strop Broncos, and I think the only place that you can find one of their semis that they used to run when they were racing those back in the 60s. Anyway, very fun collection. Also, and then moving to February, we did 4 videos in February. We mentioned about, if you're going to look at 25 model years coming out, if you're looking at getting a 24 for dealers that haven't left, here are some things to remember and think about. And one of them was the shocks, because there was a recall on the shocks. And so it's just a reminder that dealers could still sell those Broncos. They just couldn't deliver them. So it's just kind of a more of a service announcement out there for people that are looking to get a Bronco of, hey, these ones here, you'll be able to purchase it, but you won't be able to take delivery because of the rear shock recall. And so we covered that in that video. We also did cover we had Bronco Sports severely discounted for 24s because we wanted to move our 24s. And so we had did a video on that, of course. We also did must-have equipment for off-roading your Bronco. So we had to take a look at my Bronco and some of the things that I have in the back of my Bronco that I thought were must-have things to put in your Bronco if you're going to be an off-roader and going to do some off-roading. Also talked about some hidden features on the 25 Bronco that you might want to look at. I think that's the one. Oh no, we did that later in actually March, but we talked about some new features for 25 model year that you might want to see, and that video get a lot of views. And then we also talked about off-road lights. So I have, I was doing some research for off-roading lights, and I thought, you know what, other people may want to know what research I've done, and maybe they want to know. So we did a video on that. We also did a video on the new freewheeling edition for both the Bronco and Bronco Sport. So Bronco Sport, it was not new for 25. We had that in 24, but it was new for the 25 Broncos. So we covered it on both of them because we happen to have a freewheeling edition in both the Bronco Sport and Bronco on the lot at the same time. Also, we did one on the Outer Banks trim level. So we got one of our first 2025 Broncos in. It happened to be an Outer Banks, and we had a 24 Outer Banks still in stock. So we compared the two together and what's different and what changed, and some things that weren't mentioned in the order guide. In fact, I actually had some of the Bronco brand team, when I got a chance to see them later in the year, that said, oh, you're the one that did that video on the Bronco Outer Banks and compared the two, and you found some things that even we didn't know about. So anyway, so we talked about that and some of the material changes and some of that in that the Outer Banks. And that's kind of what we do here is we have the vehicles here. We like to do videos, put our hands on them, and show you what they really look like. Now, also, of course, we finished that out with that half-day experience that we talked about in March, whether or not the half-day experience of off-roadeo was worth it. And then going into April, we had some fun. We did walk around on a 25 Bronco Sport Badlands Sasquatch. It's actually one of our loyal followers of the channel purchased this Bronco Badlands Sasquatch, and he let us do a walk around on it. And then also we followed up a week later he allowed me to test drive his Bronco Sport before it was delivered to him. And so we did get permission from him, of course, and he did let us do that. And that was pretty nice because I know media had gotten an invite later of being able to drive these, but we get a chance to be one of the first ones to kind of drive them and do a video on it, on the test drive experience of that. Also, we did put the Easter Jeep Safari was going on, and Bronco had a couple different Broncos out there. One of them they had created was a two-door Bronco Raptor. And so I kind of did a video and said, will Ford build a two-door Bronco Raptor? So we kind of teased that and kind of went over that on what that looked like from the Easter Jeep Safari. We also did believe it or not, wasn't a Bronco, but it was a overlanding trailer. We have a local company that makes these overlanding trailers, and we did a video on that, believe it or not. So you never know. Any off-roading stuff we want to provide to you, and we did a video on that. And there's another Bronco Off-Roadeo Super Celebration. So I did go to the Tennessee event, and I did a video on why you should go to the Bronco Super Celebrations. They have 4 of these throughout the country, right? 4. They do one in Tennessee. They also do one in Wisconsin, Colorado. That's in September. Always go to that one. They do one in Nevada. So they 4 a year. And Bronco Super Celebration. The people that put that on are just incredible people, honest, great people. And also, you will meet so many great, fun Bronco people in the community as well. So check out that video I did April 30th of last year if you want a little more information on that. We also did a video on how to use your goat mode. So again, doing some how-to videos here, and those are the go over any type terrain drive modes for your Bronco. So not all Bronco gets all of them. In fact, I don't think any of them get all of them. And so kind of went through some of the different GOAT modes and what they do. And if you don't know what the GOAT modes are, those are different drive modes, and it changes the shifting of the transmission, the throttle response, and different things like that for the different terrain you're on and different situation that you're in. Also, we also talked about what kind of Bronco can you get for $40,000? So we covered that base Bronco. What standard equipment and how is it going to be equipped? And, $40,000, what's it get to get into a Ford Bronco? We also did a walk around on the Heritage Edition for 25 model year. So that, of course, wasn't available in two-door anymore in 25. So we covered that four-door. We followed that up in May with covering the Strop Bronco. We got our first Strop Bronco in, and so we covered that Strop Bronco edition. We did a walk around it as well in late May too. Of course, that moves us to summertime and getting into June. And in June, we did cover the 25 Bronco Raptor prices because that is about when they dropped their prices significantly. That is when the starting price went down to $79,900 was at the beginning of June. Then, of course, that's when they came out with the Bronco off-roadeo experience. They bring your own Bronco we talked about earlier. And then we finished that off in late June with a Bronco base squatch is back. So we covered a Bronco base with the Sasquatch package and what that looks like, what's included, and everything else like that. So there you go. That was a lot of fun. And the reason we did 3 instead of 4 was I was going on vacation at the beginning of the month. So that's why we saw that. Now in July, we only had 2 videos that went live in July. One of them was the changes to the Bronco and Bronco Sport for September. So throughout the model year, Ford will make some changes, and they made some changes in September. And so we covered those changes. So again, you want to stay updated with Bronco news updates and information. You definitely want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss these. Also, Ford Custom Garage came out with that Coastal Bronco package. So we covered that package and went over that and did a walk around because not only did the package come out, we ordered the first one and had it come in, and we put it on one of our Broncos, and we were the first one to have it out there. I know that for a fact because when a month later, when we talked to the Ford Custom Garage team, they're like, "Oh yeah, you got one of those?" I'm like, "Yep," and it turned fast. So we talked to them about that package as well. And then in August, we had some fun because we started putting together our own different custom packages for the Broncos. And we based them off of the base Bronco. And the first one we talked about was a Baja Bronco that was put on a 2-door base Bronco. That if you wanted that nice Baja vintage look like a Strop Bronco, but you wanted to save a lot of money, then we had a package for you. So we covered that and did a walk around on that. And another package that we do and that we've been selling really well, and that is our vintage Bronco package, available in a 2-door or 4-door base Bronco. And that gives you that vintage vinyl look with some nice either black or vintage type of wheels with some nice all-terrain tires. Gives it a nice look without breaking the bank there. So we covered that as well. So, and then a lot of people didn't know this, but on the Ford Custom Garage package for 25 model year, you could order the Ford Custom Garage package and been done at the factory. So you basically order your vehicle, add the Ford Custom Garage, and then it gets shipped to you already put on, which was really great. So we covered that and how that works and that process. And then also somebody took a base Bronco. Actually, it was a base Sasquatch Bronco, and they customize it quite a bit. So we did a walk around on them and let you know different things that we did for this customer's build. So it was a custom build for somebody's base Bronco. And then I covered while we're at it, I'm like, let's cover my Bronco. I have a 21 Bronco Big Ben, and I said, let me show you what I did to my Bronco and what is capable of that as well. And then we also partnered with some other vendors. So we've done some videos this last year, including one we did in September was with the 3W floor mats. And I put them in my Bronco. And by the way, I put those in, it looks like in September, still have them to this day. And I still love them as much as I did when I installed them back then. Then we also put some RTR parts on a Bronco and showed you kind of what that looks like. So again, doing more customizations to Broncos and covering those in videos. And about that time is when the order banks opened up. October, the order banks opened up. So I kind of went over some order bank information, when you should expect that. And then we followed up with a week later or a couple weeks later, covering the major changes on the Bronco and Bronco Sport for 26 model year. And when I did that video, I actually was at Bronco Off-Roadeo in Nevada when I did that video. That it was really fun. And then also we covered what wheel you're getting for the 26 Bronco Sport base Sasquatch there. And so we'll kind of talk about that because for 26 model year, it wasn't really clear what wheel you're getting because they did change it from 25 to 26. So Sasquatch package, they got a different wheel, and it was nobody really got this wheel right. And I finally got the information from the brand team, and I was able to share the correct wheel that you're getting as part of the Sasquatch package. That video went live October 29th, if you missed that one. And then we covered the Ford Custom Garage Dark Trail Matte Black package. We got one of those in, and it was one we had built, and we ordered it that way, got the package put on, and was delivered to us with the package already on it. And we covered and did a walk around on that package. I think it's a really cool package, and I maybe like it a little bit better than the Coastal package. So you might check that one out. We did on November 5th. And then, of course, or almost at the end of the year here, we talked about how to save big money on the Bronco. In November, Ford put out some big incentives for dealers to try to sell a lot of Broncos and get ahead and try to beat Jeep here. And so they put some major incentives out, and we added to it with some major discounts. We had Broncos and Bronco Sports that were $9,000 off in November. That did not last because they took away some of the rebates, and we were not able to do that in December. But so we covered that. And we also covered all the different Broncos that we had that were for sale under $50,000. So we had a lot of custom Broncos and a lot of base Broncos and Coastal package Broncos. We had a lot of Broncos available under $50,000. And then in December, we closed it out by covering the pink Bronco that we did. So we vinyl wrapped base Bronco vintage package, and we put it the pink wrap on it so you guys can cover that. And then finished last week, we covered the Bronco Raptor Alpha 500. So it is a matte finish wrap on it. So we've wrapped up the year with two different wrap packages for 2025. And so we'll see what happens for 26. We're really excited for 26 calendar year this year. We're going to continue with this Built Wild Wednesday video series for this year. And this Lawn McArthur is going to be celebrating 75 years in business with Ford. And so it is our 75th anniversary. So we're going to be doing some special stuff this year. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification turned on. And again, we will continue the expenses to pay. If you want to get a Bronco or Bronco Sport and get it from us, we want to pay for your way to get to Bronco off-roadeo. We will continue that offer for this year as well. Just we reimburse you back for those receipts up to $1,000. And a lot of people took us up on that last year. So we're hoping even more take us up on it this year, and we get people to that Bronco off-roadeo and see what it's really about. So hope you guys enjoyed the year with us and you followed along. And hopefully that you make sure you're subscribed with that bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of the ones that are coming out for this year. And we'll see you in 2026 with more Bronco and Bronco Sport information. Till then, stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.